sure this is all recorded. Um, give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Ready to go, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to be your speaker for today. I've got the pleasure of actually sharing, more than anything, sharing the experience that I've actually had here with the company called iBoomerang, which I'm going to share with you today. But not only that, but most importantly, kind of sharing with my story of myself, and also sharing the second story of iBoomerang. And so I want to welcome you to the call because I don't know which country you're calling in from, you're listening in from right now. But I do know a lot of you are from Russia. Some of you may be from other countries in Europe, but you took time away from your families and your friends and from the loved ones to come and listen to this call. So we do very much appreciate it. But I'm just going to start with a bit of background about myself. So my name is Rowan Bond. I'm 28 years old. I've been in this industry, which I'm going to tell you about, of direct sales for 8 years now. But for the last 3 years, I've actually been working full time with a company, a property management company, a very corporate company in London. And that was my role was actually being a sales manager there. But there was a couple of things that I was kind of in that role over the last 3 years that I wasn't happy with. And so I was kind of looking for the right mentor. The main reason being is because I know for the average day for myself at that point over the last 3 years was I'd set my alarm at 7 o'clock in the morning to get up, get ready, and have to leave the house by 8 a.m. in the morning to get on the Central Line. For those of you that have been to London and been to and seen the London Underground, to get on the Underground itself, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, somehow people are still is very packed. Didn't get a seat, and people are still smelling at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm wondering to myself, how can you smell at 8 o'clock in the morning? But then I have to get to work by 9 a.m. And finish work at 6 p.m. Had to do the same thing, get back on the Central Line to go back home. And I wouldn't get home till 7:15, 7:30. I like to train, so I'll go to the gym at that point, and then get back home at about 9:15, 9:30, eat some dinner, and then have to go to bed to get ready for work the next day. So that was a cycle of my life over the last 3 years. And don't get me wrong, I was earning a good income, which I'm very grateful for. But at the same time, I really didn't have the time freedom that I wanted to basically go and travel the world, to go and spend time with loved ones, and also to do things that I really was passionate about. One of the things is I didn't like getting up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I didn't like the commute to work. And for me, I also like training, but I like to train in the afternoon because that's when I'm most effective. But because of the restrictions of my job at that point, I just didn't have the time. And so that's where I was looking for mentorship. I was looking for a way out of the 9 to 5 at that point, and which is why I started iBoomerang part time. And kind of fast forward about 4 months ago, I started part time, and I'm very grateful to be in the position now where I've actually now replaced my full time income twice over. So I've doubled the amount of money I was earning at full time, my job, and that was actually initially part time. And then the last 2 months now, I've made double the amount of money that I made on my job, and that's by starting something part time. And so that's kind of the story of myself, of myself, Rowan Bond. But I'm going to share with you the story of iBoomerang, because that's what many of you have come to see today. Is really what iBoomerang is all about, and why you've actually been invited to come and listen to this call today. So just before I get started, obviously I've told you about the kind of income that I've been able to make so far, and we're very excited about sharing this. But there is a disclaimer. I just want to make sure that you do know that not everybody is going to make the kind of money that they're looking for without actually putting the work in that you need to put in, because this is not like a get rich quick scheme. This is a real opportunity for you to make money long term, but you do have to put the work in and also follow the guidance of the people that are making money with this. And so just to go and get started here, I really want to talk about the industry of network marketing. For those of you that are on the line, you may have actually already heard of network marketing in different shapes and forms, or maybe know of some companies, maybe even been in network marketing yourself. And so the industry, just to give you a bit of education on the industry is actually more than 60 years old. So it's an industry that has been going a very long time. But in the industry, just to give you some education on it, over the last 10 years, this industry itself has actually created more millionaires than any other industry out there in the world. And don't just take my word for it. Go and look this up online and you basically see this. It's a real industry. It's a real profession that for some people That's the reason why they actually don't have to work a 9 to 5 right now, like myself, because it's replaced the income. And so this industry for a long time has been done one way, but for the last 60 years, it's traditionally been an industry where you make a product at wholesale, you buy it at wholesale and go and sell it at retail. But what the owner of this company found is that it was time for the industry to evolve, because technology has actually evolved over the last mainly 5, 10 years, and changed the way things have been done in many other different industries outside of this industry itself. So they looked at, if you look at the taxi industry, and basically what Uber has basically done to the taxi industry, they do not own any taxis at all, but they also provide the more transport than any other taxi company out there. If you then look at Airbnb and what Airbnb have done, they also provide more accommodation for than any other accommodation provider in the world, but they do not own any accommodation, any properties themselves. And so that is the way the world has been changing. And now, if you look at retailers, Amazon provide more products than any other company in the world, and they've done it by providing products that they didn't actually make themselves. It's just products that have been put on their platform for them to be sold. And so they don't own any of these products either. And so if you look at how technology has changed, that's how we've actually changed. And we now provide a first-class consumer experience, just like Uber do, just like Airbnb do, and just like Amazon does. It's basically an app where you can just click a couple of buttons, and you can have a taxi turn up to your front door. It's an app that you can click a couple of buttons and have accommodation booked in any country and around the world. It's an app that you can click a couple of buttons and have you can have products and service products that can be delivered to your door. And so that's exactly what we've done. But what we've actually created here is a perpetual residual income builder. And for many of you that are on the line that understand technology right now, what that basically is the same things that Booking.com and many of these companies use online to track our cookies and look what we're looking at online, to then provide us these same products and services on other platforms. So, for instance, let's say as example, you may go to look and book in a holiday on Booking.com. What you then find is you go on Booking.com, you come off of that page, and then you go onto your Facebook, and you see them same holidays from Booking.com pop up on your Facebook and pop up on your Instagram. And it's because of the cookies and the data that they've collected on you. That's what allows them to provide that for you at any given time. So what we've basically done here is created a system and a technology that follows up with your customers for you. So you just get the customer once, and then you basically just leave them alone after that. The company does the rest of the work with the technology. And so when you actually look here, the old model is that you had to buy a product at wholesale and then go and sell it at retail, and that's the only way you can make profit. But really, because these products were so expensive, most people could get them online, or they could get them from a health store a lot cheaper, and they could buy it from you directly. And so only the strong recruiters that could build a big team in this industry are the ones that made the most money. And so when you look at now the new model, where the only way you can actually make money is actually by customers saving money, this has never been done before. If you think about what most people are looking for right now, is most people are looking for value. They're looking for value. They're looking for, where can I get the best experience for the least amount of money? So that's basically what we have here, is the best experience for the least amount of money available to the customer. And so what we've been able to do is we've been able to bring this vision to the world with one of the most exciting industries in the world. And for many people on this call, I know without asking you the question, do you like to travel? You would say yes. And the only reason you don't travel is maybe because of time or finances. That's the only reason you don't travel. But many people love to travel. And so that's why this industry is an $8 trillion industry and is growing. In the next 5 years, it will be a 12 to $16 trillion industry, because of the millennials and the internet that has basically made the world a lot smaller. And that's where you're able to now see places like Bali and Thailand, where now millennials want to go to these places and see it for themselves. And that's why the industry of travel is only going to continue to grow and get even bigger and bigger and bigger. And so what we actually have here, and this is the main secret that most people did not know about the travel industry. So just to give you an idea, the travel industry, for many of you on this call, already have seen these different sites here. So like Booking.com, Hotels.com, Kayak, Agoda, OpenTable, RentalCars.com, Travelocity, Orbit, Trivago. You would have seen all of these sites already. But what you probably didn't realize is that all of these different sites are owned by two different companies, Bookings Holdings and Expedia Group, who monopolize the entire industry of travel. What they've basically done is they actually control the pricing that we see as general public when we go on their sites. And they already know, if you've gone on Kayak to go and book a holiday, they already know you've been on Kayak, So they'll put the price up on booking.com. Again, they'll know that you've been on kayak, so they'll put the price up on Agoda because they control the pricing. And so what actually happens here is there's what most people didn't know, that there's actually 3 ways of purchasing travel, not 2. So the first way you can purchase travel is actually going directly to a hotel, and that hotel gives you the retail cost. The second way you can purchase travel is maybe that you're a member. You use booking.com all the time to purchase your travel, so they give you a membership pricing. But maybe then, so that's what most people know. But the third way of purchasing travel, which most people don't know about, is what we call behind the curtain pricing. Behind the curtain pricing is what the main companies here, Bookings Holding, Expedia Group, get it at, and that's really the actual wholesale cost that nobody else can get it unless you're actually a member of a travel agency. And so this is basically what we have here. So we've partnered with a travel agency in the US called Extreme Travel. Instead of actually creating marketing sites, they actually pass the savings back on to us. And that basically allows us now to have a travel agency behind us that is 19 years old and has won multiple different awards around the world because of the level and the standard of the customer experience that they have actually had over the last 19 years. So they get the same behind the curtain pricing that Expedia Group and Bookings Holding get. And so as you can see here, you have the Travel Savers Elite Agency Top 50 Award from 2011 to 2018. So they've won this multiple different times. Don't just take my word for it. Go and Google Extreme Travel and you'll see they are an amazing travel agency. And so that is really the backbone of the company, our Boomerang, because they're 19 years old. They have a big corporate team behind them and a lot of experience. But our Boomerang itself is only 4 months old. Remember, I said that it was time for the industry to evolve. Now we don't own anything. We don't own the travel, but we actually have a 19-year-old travel agency that is one of the best in the world that actually takes care of the travel side of things for us. And so what you actually have here is your own iGo wholesale travel booking platform. That iGo is short for I Go for Less. That basically allows you to have up to 70% off the retail prices that you normally see online. And with that, you will actually earn travel bonuses by referring the travel to Extreme. So just to give you an example, that most people already do this. They're just not getting paid for it. You probably already been on booking.com or hotels.com or whichever website you normally go on to book your holidays, and you have an amazing experience. Now you probably post it on social media, post the pictures of the experience you're having, and then people ask you when you come back, well, where did you book that holiday? You tell them the site you went to, they go to that site, they book a holiday, maybe to the same place or to a different place, but you made that company money, but you did not get anything for it. And so think about every single time you've done that. Imagine if you actually got paid like a cashback for that company, for the referral that you gave to one of your friends or families members. That's basically what you have here. But not only that, you also have over $8 trillion of travel inventory at your fingertips that you would never be able to get hold of until iBoomerang came around. And so with this, these are some live examples of actually how this works, and some of the examples. So here, this is New York City, a 4.5-star hotel on Expedia. We got up Expedia and our website at the same time for the same amount of people. What we found is that, and for New York City 4.5-star hotel was $339 per night on Expedia. On our site was $178. So that basically meant that it was $161 cheaper on Expedia on our website. But then you also have Paris, France, which was a 4-star hotel. On Travelocity was $440 per night. On our site was $130 per night, which meant that you actually had a $310 saving for the same rooms and for the same hotel. But not only that, we also have rental cars. So we have a New York City Chevrolet Cruze, which was $392 on the rentalcars.com. On our site was $171 cheaper for the same car for the same amount of time. Then also you have the weeks, which is one week vacations. Punta Cana was a 4-star resort, $1,250 on hotels.com. On our site was $712, which basically meant that it was a $503 saving for the same car, for the same room, and for the same rental, for the same resort. Now, what I also did is I got up a couple of live examples here to show you guys of different places on the website and give you some real examples. This is going to be in pounds. But some places here that many people like to go. I talked about Bali earlier. This is a 4-star resort in Bali, which here in the UK in pounds is £984 for 2 people from the 31st to the 7th of August. But if you look on our site, the same hotel for the same amount of people is £575 for the same hotel, the same amount of people. Again, I can show you the dates from the 31st to the 7th for 2 people. Actually is, let me just double check here, is just under £400 cheaper. Now, again, if we look at some other locations, if there's anybody on the call that wants to see any other locations here, but I looked at Vietnam, for instance, and here, this is a 25% savings. So I'm going to show you the same hotel on booking.com for the same dates. And if we search this here, you'll be able to see the savings that is available. Okay, so this is the Windsor Hotel, booking.com. Search it here. As you can see, is £859 on booking.com, and on our site is at £545, guys. For the same dates, for the same hotel, for the same rooms, this is what you actually have access to on the iGo booking platform. And so why would you pay more when you can actually pay less? The money that you saved on this particular holiday could actually be another holiday for you. And for the ladies on the line, this could be the equivalent to you buying an extra Louis Vuitton handbag, an extra Gucci handbag or a Gucci belt. This could be a nice pair of Louis Vuittons. This could be anything for you that maybe you weren't able to treat yourself to because you wanted to go on holiday each year, but now you can go on the same holidays but save money and buy something that it might be additional to your lifestyle. And so with this example, we've now taken over 20,000 bookings, but we just have a few examples for you here. And as you can see, the reservation is $397.36, but the reward credits that you get for booking is $445. With the savings that is available, you have an $848.45 saving, and all the savings are in the green. But that is the real life saving, guys. This is real life people that already use the platform, and this is the savings that has been available to them so far, but it's only going to get better. But what we actually have here, services, we have hotels, we have rental cars, we have cruises. We also didn't have flights, but just as a disclaimer, we don't have discount on flights, but you can use your reward credits that you get for every time you book on the platform towards your flights, and that makes your flights cheaper for you. Then you also have the homes, you have the weeks, marketplace, and timeshare owners. But also additionally to that, you also have shore excursions, outdoor activities, and shopping rewards, where you can actually use the reward credits to actually go and buy on websites like ASOS, clothes, or whatever you like to buy on ASOS. But again, just because you're using this site to book your travel, you can then go and buy different clothes with the same money that you would actually book for the reward credits, apologies, that you get through booking your travel. Now, with that, most importantly, you have a price guarantee. So as you can see here, the bottom right hand corner, you have a price guarantee where you get 110% of the difference if you find it cheaper at another public price. Right now, we don't beat every single price out there, but we beat about 80 to 90% of the prices that are out there. And right now, because we're only 4 months old, we're only going to get better with the prices, because as we grow and we produce more people using our platform, we'll get even better deals. And so it's going to get even better, guys. And so this is just the beginning. But the question I have for you is, do you boomerang? For the most of the people on this call, for many people that after this call will be able to see this recording, for instance, the answer is going to be yes, I boomerang. And the reason being is because we share 50% of the savings with our friends and family, and that's the only way we can actually get an income. That's the only way we make money, is by helping somebody else save money. And so just think about that. The only way you make money is by helping somebody else save money. Think about all the times that you maybe have made a saving on a particular product or service that you love yourself and you know other people love. And so if you said to them, you know what, I am buying a Louis Vuitton handbag, and just because I use this particular platform, I got it for £100 or £200 cheaper. Do you want to buy? Do you want to use that same platform to get it for £100 or £200 cheaper? How many people do you think are going to say no to you? And so with this, the customers enjoy 50% of the available savings, and 50% of the savings goes back to you, and then the rest of it actually goes back into the compensation plan. Now, this is important. This is vital that it's exclusive. we receive the savings back in cash. We don't get it in points, we get it in cash. So there is some other companies out there that get the savings back in points, which you can only use on a platform. But for many people out there, you can't go and buy that Louis Vuitton handbag with points. You need cash to buy it. And so this is why for many people that didn't think about travel as a business, now they think about it as a business because they have the points that comes back in cash. And so the savings that come back in cash. And so there's no limit to the earnings here. But the boomerang example here is just for example, say for example, I've started this business and I want to give a boomerang to my mum because my mum loves to travel. So on the left hand side, I have the TSA member site. She decided to go to Playa del Carmen and stay in a 4.5-star hotel, all inclusive in Mexico. And what actually happens is the website searches all the different sites out there, booking.com, hotels.com. It also goes on Trivago, TripAdvisor, etc. And what the cheapest price that they find is $4,867. Now, with that, in this example, we had a 70% saving. So we got the same holiday for $1,467. But the customer, which was my mum, got 50% of their savings that was available to me, and she did not pay anything for it. We've copied the model of Uber, we've copied the model of Amazon, we've copied the model of Airbnb, that the app is free to download for customers, but the customers will save money on a free app. And so in this example, say this was my mum, she booked the same holiday, 4.5-star hotel, and in Playa del Carmen in Mexico, all inclusive, but she saves just under $1,700. And so she paid $3,168 for a free website that she didn't have to pay anything for, but can go in the exact same holiday, but for cheaper. And so here, as you can see here, the travel savings ambassador, as a travel savings ambassador, you share that saving with a customer. The customer goes and books that trip. They save $1,700, and because they've saved $1,700, 50% of that comes back to you, and you make $850 one time just because you shared a site with a customer that they didn't have to pay for. And there's no strings attached. It's just that they're a customer, and we want to copy the model of Uber. But just for the people that are conservative on the line, maybe you say, you know what, I don't know a huge amount of people that travel, but I do know 10. And so if you know 10 people that travel and you believe like to save money and get value for their money when they spend, then and they go on one holiday a year and they're saving just an average of $600, not their big $1,700 saving, which I just showed you. That's a total of $6,000 in savings. And so 50% of that comes back to you in a bonus. And so you're now making an extra $3,000 a year because your 10 customers are saving money every single time they travel, and they don't even have to contact you to do that. They could just go on the customer site and search the same way I just searched Bali and the same way I just searched Vietnam. They can go and search those two places or even more, anywhere in the world, and go and put how many people they want in to go with. And then they can see that 50% of the available savings to them. So if in this example, if we saw 50% saving on our member site, customer would see 25% saving. They book that trip, even though they didn't tell you, but it's attached to your account. And so you see that the customer X, Y, and Z has booked a trip, and this is the cashback that's coming back to you, even though you didn't tell them about it. They just went and booked the holiday themselves, you know? So that's basically what we have here. Also, then if you want to look at more moderate example, maybe you go and get 100 customers. Maybe this takes you a whole year or 2 years to get 100 customers, but would $30,000 a year extra make a difference to you? And so think about, maybe that may be the deposit for your first house. Or maybe if you've already got a home and you bought your first property, maybe this may be the deposit for this second property. Maybe this may be, you may be able to go and invest in other things that you want to do investing. And maybe this may replace your full-time income. And now you can actually spend more time doing things that you want to do because you have 100 customers that are saving money every single year that they go and travel. And so then we have life-changing income that most people on this call won't even believe, because maybe you've never made this kind of money before, but this will happen, guys. This will happen. 1,000 customers, this is the kind of income you're looking at cash back, because the customers save money for something they're going to spend money on already. And so when you then look at maybe the team building model, this is optional. Remember, I talked about all the ways of making money before. And the first way of making money was just about having customers. And with those customers, you did not have to sell, you did not have to recruit, and you did not have to chase the customers to continue to purchase the products, because there's no products for them to buy. There's everything for them to buy, but there's nothing for you to sell. And so that you don't have to sell a holiday. People want to go on holiday anyway, right? And so with that, that's never been done before. It's never had a model where you didn't have to sell to make an income. And so this is now here. Maybe you do know of some other people that want to make an extra income for themselves. They may be a single mom and decide, you know what, I need an extra income for the household. Maybe they like myself, that were just tired of the 9 to 5 and the rat race of just doing the same things over and over and over again and just not being happy where I was. Or maybe you're somebody that is already an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just somebody that loves to travel and you know other people that would love to travel and pay up to 70% less for their travel. And so with that, maybe they go, let's say they go out and get 10 customers because they know friends or family members that would love to travel as well. Now you actually have 500 customers that are actually taking one trip a year and an average saving of $600, which actually accumulates a customer volume of 575. So you get 10% of what your customers have saved, and an extra annual income of just over 20,000 per year on top of what your direct customers, already making you in terms of your income. Now look at 250 customers, and then 250 team members that have 10 customers. You're now making an extra 103,000 a year. And then let's go to the life-changing income, which is 1,000 team members that are having 10 customers. And with that, you now have 10,000 customers. So you're making an extra just over 414,000 a year in income. And guys, this will happen. The reason being, I told you my experience of what I've been able to do in a short period of time. I have over 50 team members in just over 4 months. And so well over 50 team members. In fact, in my entire network, I actually have just over 235 team members in my entire network. And that's because people love to save money on their travel, right? And so this is the third way of getting paid: direct sales bonus, where if you personally introduce somebody else, you get a one-time commission for them taking out a package. That's the coach class, business class, or first class. And then you also have the dual team bonus. This is another way of getting paid. So you build 2 teams. If you want to build 2 teams, if you want to build a team, you only have 2 teams that you can actually build: your left team and your right team. And every week, the company look at what the 2 teams have produced in revenue with coach class, business class, and first class sales, and then they actually pay you a percentage of what the lesser team has done. In this example, the lesser team was the right team, so you got paid 20%, and that actually equates to just over $1,000 a week. And that's because of the first class package that this particular person was on. And so the maximum you can get paid over that is up to $250,000 a week from the dual team commission. But in terms of getting started, if you see an opportunity for yourself and you said, you know what, I want to get started, this is what you do. You have a one-time fee for the website itself and setup cost. That gives you access to the customer site, 5 boomerangs you can send out, 25% on the referral commissions, and I decide interactive presentation that does the presentation for you. So you don't have to get to me to come present, but you can just send a link to someone and they can see the savings that is available. They can also then click on see the customer acquisition model if they want to see that, or they can see the team building model and actually getting customers with the team, and they can see whatever they like depending on what they want to see. And so at the end of that, they can make a decision whether they want to join the team, whether they want to be a customer, or they have questions, so you can just follow up with them afterwards. But you also have a management system that tracks everything that happens all around your business, all around the world. So my business right now is in 9 countries, and I can see every single person that is in the other countries and what they've been able to do, and that allows me to go and help the different people around the world. But as I said, I'll tell you about the 3 packages. So for the people that want to get started on the call today, because I know there's going to be some people that want to get started, whether you're watching it live right now or you're going to be watching a recording. But as you can see here, the coach class is the lowest package you can get started at. That's the hotels, flights, and rental cars. That is for your own personal use. But then you also have 10 boomerangs that you can send out from the beginning, which basically boomerang is a unique code that you send out to a customer. Once the customer activates that code, that is your customer for life, and every single time that they travel and save money, you're going to get paid every single time. And so you do not have to follow up with that customer. Once you've given them that code, they've activated it, your job is done, and now every single time that customer saves money, you're going to get paid on it. And so you get 10 boomerangs to start with, and then you get 10% of the dual team, but it's a $250 one-time fee. And then also what you have here is the business class that gives you everything that's in the coach class, but also you have access to the cruises for your own personal use, up to 70% saving, 25% of the 25 boomerangs to start off with, but 12% in the dual team. That's $500 one-time fee. But then you actually have the first class as well. And so that's everything that's on the services, which I spoke about before. But you also have 50 boomerangs that you start off with, and 20%, as I showed you in the dual team, where you got paid $1,000. And so with this, it's a one-time fee of $1,000 to get started on the first class package. But I want to just show you before I go through the subscription in terms of how the subscription works, because there is a monthly subscription to be in business. You do have to pay a monthly subscription, but I want to show you something, because there is something in the weeks which for many people, they just got started on the highest package just because of the deals they can get in the weeks. So for some of the weeks here, if you're on this call right now and you want to write in the chat box maybe a location that you want to go to, and I can show you right here some different locations that we can go to and the prices that we can pay. So or even Olga, if you want to unmute your line and tell me somewhere that you want to go, and I can find you the destination here and I can show you the prices.
Okay, so maybe let's check the New York. What do you think?
New York. Okay, let's find New York. I'll find New York for you, and then we'll have a look here. Where would New York come under? There it is. Okay, so New York, let's say we want to go at the end. Just say we want to go in 2 weeks' time to New York from the 21st onwards. And this is for 7 days and 8 nights. And this is the price in New York for 2 people for 1 week for a 4-star hotel. And this is in 2 weeks' time, guys. This is the price that you pay for 2 people. That you'll be able to go on some holidays that you maybe have never even thought of going on before, and this is mainly because of the weeks. I know New York is a place people love to travel, but maybe you say, you know what, I love South America. Let me see, I want to go to Mexico. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the not Playa del Carmen, but Cancun in Mexico, and show you some all-inclusive deals for 2 people in Mexico on the weeks here. As you can see, for 2 people for 7 nights, 7 days, this is the price for 2 people, not per night. This is for the whole entire week, guys. Again, I can show you more places. We have the Dominican Republic, which is another place that we have some of our all-inclusive hotels, but it's only going to get better here, as I said before. So if I click here, the Caribbean, let's look here on the Caribbean. I'll show you all the price that we have. So I don't normally do this, but I wanted to really show you what we actually have here. This is, again, for 7 days for 2 people. This is the prices all inclusive for a 4.5-star hotel is £334, which is basically just £170 each for the accommodation, all inclusive in 2 weeks' time. And this is the prices that we have available to us, guys. So I really wanted to show you that and the value that we have here, but then I want to go back to just in closing here, the monthly subscription. There is a monthly subscription. It's $99.95 for the monthly subscription, but that basically that allows you to be in business. That allows you for your website to be running, and also for your customer website to be running. But more importantly, gives you 10 boomerangs every month, and the technology that is working for you to get your customers to purchase products and services that you don't even have to tell them about. And so that's what you're basically paying for in business. But there's 3 different people that when we're looking at this kind of opportunity, guys, there's 3 different types of people. There's your number ones that, you know what, you say, actually, you know what, it's not the right timing for me, but I would love to become a customer because I can see the kind of savings that are available, and I would love to save money on my own travel. Maybe you're number 2 and you have some questions, but you see an opportunity, so you would love to get your questions answered, and then we can get you started in the opportunity. Then you may be a number 3, you're like, you know what, it makes sense. I understand the only way I can make money is by saving customers money. It's a no-brainer. I want some extra income for myself, and so you're ready to get started, and then you just get back to Olga. And so I want to thank you for listening to this call today. I want to thank you for allowing me to share the story of myself and the story of iBoomerang. But more importantly, I want to tell you right now, this is going to be bigger than Uber. This will be bigger than Uber because of the model that we have and the leadership we have back behind the company. It will be one of the biggest companies in the world, but you'll find out about it right at the beginning. So that is why you are really going to be thanking Olga if you decide to get started, that you got started now. Because I want you to imagine, as if Uber was a network marketing company and you want to get customers for Uber, how many people do you know that don't have the Uber app downloaded, or didn't have or if they don't have it downloaded now, but maybe they had it downloaded before and deleted the app? And so how many people do you know that have never downloaded the Uber app? Because that's basically what we have here. Once the customers download the app that is coming, you won't ever be able to have that person as a customer again if you were the person that gave them that code. And so I can tell you now, from 2 to 3 years from now, you will be hearing people that are your friends and family saying, have you heard about the iBoomerang app? Have you heard about the iBoomerang app? Whether they be a member or they're a customer, because customers will also be able to share the app and get a one-time cashback as well, the same way you did with Uber. So I want to thank you for listening to me today. I'm going to pass it back over to Olga just to close out the call. And if you have any questions after this call, I'll be available to answer any questions if you're ready to get started, and then we can take it from there. So I want to thank you, and I'll pass it back over to Olga.
Hi, yeah, Roman, thank you so much for your time and for your call. And yeah, it was very interesting. And I hope, guys, that you have enjoyed everything. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer, or Roman can answer. And thank you so much again for joining this webinar, and thank you for your time, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoyed it and you like the idea and the mission of the company, because I really love it so much. And so if you have any questions, I'm here for you. And thank you again for your time. Thank you.